DC Rebirth is currently the largest event happening in the DC universe right now. It's popped up in multiple comic books with multiple situations happening at the exact same time. This can make it confusing, but what we do know is that this is not a new timeline, but it is still the New 52 timeline. And as we've discovered, the New 52 timeline, which was created after Flashpoint, is not just a new world for our heroes that Barry Allen made. In this universe, someone has taken away 10 years of our superheroes' lives to weaken them, their experiences, and remove the elements of their lives. It's not that simple though. You can't just strip 10 years away and everything works fine in the DC universe. No, instead, things are all kinds of confusing and out of place. Things like people who shouldn't exist anymore being around and time travelers from their original timelines arriving, which is making everyone really question what's going on. As of the button, we officially have a full confirmation that Dr. Manhattan and by proxy the Watchmen are officially involved. Though we did all kind of know this, it is officially confirmed. So with the story getting larger and much more sprawling, let's go over what we know as of May 17th, 2017. First up, we have Saturn Girl. She's arrived in the current day and was asking to speak with Superman in DC Rebirth #1. She was told that he is dead, basically stating that that's fine, it'll all be okay. But as it turns out, maybe it wasn't okay. We see her pop up in Arkham Asylum, making the mark of the Legion of Superheroes on the window there. And in the button, we see her again, and she screamed out that her friends are going to die, and the Legion will die. So who is Saturn Girl in the Legion of Superheroes? Well, she is a member of that team, a team from the 30th century. She's a telepath and a good friend of Superman's, or she was in that timeline. How and why she has come to the current day, we aren't quite sure, but the Legion of Superheroes does time travel a lot. The Legion of Superheroes is a group that has been around for a very long time. They were actually introduced into the comics in 1958. At first, they were a team that worked with the original Superboy and helped train him to be a hero. As time went on, they became more of their own group, and Superboy became more of a guest star. They are time travelers from the 30th century, and honestly, I have no clue as to how they're involved in all of this, unless through Dr. Manhattan's altering they just don't exist anymore, and therefore Saturn Girl came here for help. Now let's look at the Justice Society, as I think that they'll be becoming the most important very soon. One huge element that was removed from our heroes' lives is their mentors. You see, in the original timeline, Superman and Batman are not the first superheroes, but the Justice Society is. The original team is Dr. Fate, Hourman, the Spectre, Sandman, the Atom, Flash, Green Lantern, and Hawkman. The Flash and Green Lantern are different individuals, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now, as time has gone on, they have shifted who was in the Justice Society and who was a modern-day hero. A real good example of that is the Atom. He's now considered a more modern-day hero. This has caused a few other timeline and continuity confusions, but for the most part, we at least understood that the members of the Justice Society, the ones that were still considered a member of it, are the mentors of our current heroes. Now, all the way back in DC Rebirth #1, we have Johnny Thunder. He's a member of the Society, and as Wally told him to find the Justice Society, that's what he's been trying to do, except that he's currently holed up in an old folks' home. Jay Garrick is the original Flash, and he's also a member of the Justice Society. Now, I bring him up because in the recent Button event, we learned that Jay Garrick is still around, but Dr. Manhattan had him removed from the timeline. Because of this, he is in a state of flux, much like Wally was when he first showed up. But while Wally had the lightning rod of his relationship with Barry Allen, Jay Garrick doesn't have that, and he was yanked back into the time stream away from everyone. So what purpose does the Justice Society truly hold? Well, we don't know, but they have been becoming more important in DC's roster lately. With the Justice Society comic book on its way out and the appearance of some classic characters like Dr. Fate and the Injustice game, it makes me wonder how important their role will really be. Speaking of those classic members, we also have that situation with Atom, who is kind of considered a modern-day hero now. He's originally a classic hero and was on many Justice League teams, but he's currently lost in the multiverse and we don't know how to find him. At least his assistant doesn't know. But Atom warned Ryan that there is somebody on the first layer of the microverse. Is this a part of the overall arc, or is it something to be solved on its own for the Atom's plot, much like the Ted Kord Blue Beetle thing was? From the looks of things in the new Justice League of America book, we're going to be finding out soon. The next big series of events that have been happening is obviously Mr. Oz. Now, there are a ton of theories as to who Mr. Oz is, but there is no confirmation as of today. The most popular theory is that it's Ozymandias from Watchmen. Now, his power seems limitless, as he has the ability to just warp people into inescapable cells, removing them completely from time and space. He removed Tim Drake right before his death, allowing everyone to think that he had gotten disintegrated. Mr. Oz also removed Doomsday after Superman beat him, and he even removed a multiversal powerful villain known as Prophecy that was in the Superman plots, putting him into a cell. He's apparently primarily a Superman villain, but he has been involved all over the place. And while Mr. Mxyzptlk did escape his prison, the prison was strong enough to hold him for quite some time. We have no direct connection that Manhattan and Oz are working together. As it stands, they may be working against each other. But with the things that Mxyzptlk has been saying, it seemed to imply that he was afraid of someone who could find him and imprison him again, be this Mr. Oz or Manhattan. He's so afraid of this person that he actually made himself look like Clark Kent, wiping out all of his own memories to make himself honestly believe that he was Clark Kent. But once again, we don't know who Mr. Oz is yet. He's just been around for quite some time now, slowly and methodically picking people off of the game board, as he calls it. Maybe he's actually against Manhattan like I mentioned earlier. My theory is that maybe this is Ozymandias, and he's building a team for a battle against Manhattan. That would explain getting Mxyzptlk, Tim Drake, Doomsday, and Prophecy all together. Or maybe they are working together and he's building a team up for Manhattan to use against our superheroes. All of that is a big mystery right now. Also tied into the Mr. Oz thing, apparently he or Manhattan had the power to separate Superman into two beings, weakening him and his timeline. The New 52 Superman was killed along with the New 52 Lois, and through Mixie's tampering, they've all been merged back into one individual, getting those original memories back. Now, I know it was implied that it is Manhattan in the clues, but keep in mind, we only have clues at this time as to how Oz and Manhattan are involved in the Superman situation and which one of them is more directly involved in it. We just have a bunch of hints going around. Some of them could be red herrings, some of them could be legit. But speaking of involvement, we've received a lot of clues ahead of time that it was going to be Manhattan involved, and there have been more Watchmen involved clues popping up. Think about things like how Pandora was killed and how the artist put the panels in a way that matched Watchmen, or the smiling button from the comedian. Does that mean that we are going to start to see more things from the Watchmen, allowing more of the street level heroes to pop up and be involved? People like Night Owl, or Silk Spectre, or Rorschach. Another clue that has popped up is that we know someone, most likely Manhattan, because it was brought up in the issue where it was finally confirmed that Dr. Manhattan was involved in this entire event, but someone has apparently been maintaining dead and removed timelines. Flashpoint, Identity Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Somehow, these have all been maintained when they really shouldn't have been because they are altered histories, not alternate universes. We've learned from the interview with Jeff Johns why Flashpoint was kept around. They kept it to weaken Batman. Manhattan orchestrated Bruce meeting his father in Flashpoint so that his father could put the words in his head, "Let Batman die with me." Now, Batman is questioning if he should be Batman or not. So that begs the question, what's the point of Identity Crisis and Crisis on Infinite Earths? Is it to break apart the team that is the Justice League? Jeff Johns also said that Manhattan is out to remove Superman and Batman from the board, which would explain why those two are being the most affected by everything that's happening. Lastly, I want to bring up something that no one seems to be mentioning, and that's the White Lantern. Now, any Lantern fans know that the White Lantern is basically God mode for a Lantern. He was able to fix and literally alter reality to do whatever he wanted. This was actually a problem when he lost control of it and he was altering reality to such a degree that he made an evil version of himself. Well, recently he tried to revive the entire Blue Lantern Corps, and when he tapped into the power of life, someone broke apart the ring separating it. Kyle Rayner lost the power of the White Lantern, and the ripple was felt throughout the entire universe. Even Mr. Oz felt it and had questions. This could mean that this is something else out there related to the Lanterns, since Hal Jordan and the Lanterns kind of stand on their own in terms of storylines. But what if, with Mr. Oz popping up on the panel, Dr. Manhattan is involved and broke apart the ring, knowing that it could cause a problem for him? Now, if you're all wondering where all of this is happening, DC Rebirth #1 kicked off the event, Tim Drake was taken in Detective Comics, Action Comics and Superman explained explored the Superman split in Mr. Oz. Batman and the Flash, the Button, explored the Button and Jay Garrick. Wally West's whole thing was explored in Titans. And if you want to know about the Hal Jordan thing, it was in the literal most recent storyline, A Search for Hope, or something involving Hope in the title. It's in the last issue, right when he goes to break apart the ring. Anyway, let me know what you guys have found in the comments down below, because I started to do some crazy digging to try and dig up stuff, and I don't know, maybe I missed some stuff. There's a really good chance that I did, because while I am reading a lot of comics, they're popping up clues everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to keep up to date on what's happening with DC Rebirth, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and we can discuss all your theories and clues. I'll see you next time right here.